see how much you paid into this, and then they're going to try to act like, oh, they're doing you a favor by giving you your money. So it's like people really need to be aware and, wake up and stop sitting up, believing
buying the hype
they hear on the news, and just take the time to research and find out for yourself, because, they're always lying on people.
You got that right.
Always. That's their number one game, because you tell the lie long enough and it will be the truth for everyone.
You got that right. And melanin-rich people, more than anybody else in the world, especially the melanin-rich people of the United States of America, should know about the lies that are told on a people, about all the stuff you've done that you didn't do. The communists should know about the lies, or people that they call communists. Everybody's culture should know about these lies. Everybody. But people forget. They get on some whole distractory bullshit and get on some skin color games, and they start forgetting what the hell happened, where they came from. It's all a point and blame game, and everybody falls for the hype all the time. And I just wanted to let people know, because I gave you guys a little blip about it the last time, but, I'm not the best one to speak on certain things, political things, and certain types of things. People better suited to lay out those types of facts than me, because I can only give you the overall. I'm a big picture kind of girl. This sister here, she's like my sister homegirl, Lady Ma'at. They're specifics type of people. They can give you facts. Oh, that was such and such a so-and-so and so-and-so a president, or king so-and-so in the year such and such. I ain't the one. I ain't the one. Oh, that was the battle of such and such. It happened in so-and-so a place in such and such a year. Don't ask me that kind of stuff. I'm not the one. But, C-Star, we genuinely appreciate you coming on and taking time out of your very hectic and busy schedule to share that information with the listeners who need to know, because you're not going to get the truth otherwise. Nobody's going to tell you. All you're going to hear is the hype. And because of hype, your children are going into the wars. Your children are being sent off to slaughter, joining the military. And nobody's even telling people how many people are joining the military to get raped in the military. That they ain't sharing. How many females get raped in the military and the higher-ups know and do nothing? How many males get gang raped in the military by their own comrades in the United States military, and it ain't mentioned? And then you want to know why some of them come back crazy. Because a lot of times somebody has gang raped these males, and these were other males in their squad that did this to them. And it's known, and when people try to go and report it, which a lot of them don't, but when it's reported, the higher-ups say, oh, well, you must have done something to provoke it. This kind of nonsense. It's known. It's known. Did you want to say anything about any of the work you've done, any of the salt bath stuff, any of your successes, or you want to you tired and you want to get a quickening now? Because she's had massive success with some things, too. She may not want to talk about them, but it's up to her, because, it's late for her.
Well, all I can say is, people really need to listen to what Sister Yafa is talking about, using this energy, for our betterment, and not, thinking, oh, she don't know what she's talking about, oh, she crazy, oh, that's a bunch. You can think that if you want to, but it's like, this is our magic. This is our magic. This is our stuff. And we need to stop looking at this as something that's crazy that has absolutely nothing to do with us, because this is our magic, and we need to use it, and use it for our evolvement through all of this craziness that's going on out here. That's all I can say, because, things are going to get crazier, and people are going to need something to keep them sane. And the do-re-mis, the salt bath, energy balls, that will keep you sane, and it will show you results, because I have, stuff that I'm working on, and I'm telling you, it's something that I was told it was going to take 2 years, and I said, no, this has to happen within 2 months, and it happened within 2 months. And, I was going up against the federal government, so this stuff is no joke. And don't treat it like a joke, because you will become the joke. And that's all I have to say.
And that's it, and that's all. I'm saying that for my brother in Boston. He's like, and say that. That's it, and that's all. I didn't even realize I say that. This is the sister that brought to my attention. I didn't even know I say that all the time.
That's it, and that's all. And I won't make the other little Yapa-isms.
Yeah, people bring it to my attention. I didn't even know I was doing that kind of stuff. But thank you for sharing with us, sweetie.
Okay.
I love you, girl.
Okay, love you too.
Good night.
Good night. Peace.
Peace. All right. The Sea Star opted to not have her name shared, so we did not share her name. Now let's see here. As far as this whole thing about people saying, going back to what I started out with, you know, I'm proud to be a Neanderthal. You need to do some additional research into what Neanderthals were. And contrary to popular belief, every so-called white-skinned person does not fall into the category of Neanderthal. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. There are several ways that these paler complexion people come to be. There are a lot of so-called white-skinned people walking around here today that fall into the category of African American. How'd they come to be? So, you know, don't get confused by appearances. I know a lot of people are like, oh, fuck white people, or oh, fuck black people, or what, excuse my language, but, you know, this is how people talk. And I say you're going to have to try to find individuals that are on the same scale or frequency or like-minded with the same objectives as you, and you can't always go by their skin color, because there are people that are running around here that look like they're white, and they're not what you call white at all. Not at all. You know? Seriously. I mean, they just let it out that even Elvis Presley, which they thought was their, oh, that's our white guy, our white dancer. He was a brother. You know, what they call a Melungeon. Same thing. Same thing. He may or may not have felt like one, or he may or may not have behaved like one, but no matter what you act like, you know, you are what you are. It is what it is. So I'm saying that to say, the so-called Neanderthal raped the females of the bunch every which way but Sunday. Her fathers, her sons, her brothers, her grandfathers, nephews, every which way but Sunday. Ate one another, ate the babies, ate the fetuses, this whole 9 yards. And I'm going to say this as far as, oh, they were gentle people and they were, you know, there's evidence of kindness and dressing. I'm going to tell you how that came to be. The word is that so-called Cro-Magnon man, is what they claim, came from Africa and came into the area of the so-called Neanderthal. Now, whatever transpired there, they're trying to say, oh, the Africans came over there and they killed off the Neanderthal. That is not true. There were some squabbles and skirmishes, but I think a lot of what it was, and they bring it out in the newest version of the Time Machine, probably the old version or original version of the Time Machine as well. It shows the whole nighttime raids of these Neanderthals coming down out these caves and running up on people and snatching up the women and the children and raping the women and the children. Now, if you go in here and eating the men, now, if you go in here as a female, let's say from so-called Africa, and you are impregnated by one of these so-called Neanderthals, if and when you figure out how to escape, now, while you're there, you may dress wounds and do whatever the hell you need to do to keep your ass alive, show tenderness or whatever. Oh, you're injured here. Let me fix that for you, while you're trying to figure out how to get the hell out of here. So when it was all said and done, after you deliver a baby, if this baby is not taken away from you and eaten or whatever the case may be, if and when you figure out how to escape as a mother, and I'm coming from the matriarch perspective, I don't care what kind of mother you are, what color mother you are, I don't care what kind of child you've delivered. It could be a birth-defected child born inside out. As a mother, if this is your child, if you figure out how to escape, you're 95% of the time going to be trying to take your child with you. So a lot of these people came out with these children, and this is what happened. They created this altered or an additional hybrid critter who may have been on the side of the mother and may have been on the side of the raping Neanderthal father. Don't start me lying. I'm just saying. So as so-called Neanderthals and Africans go, there's some definite blood ties going on over there. Okay? Now, also, if you understand what goes on, then you need to tell these people, oh, you're proud of that? Well, why are you talking about us and looking down your nose at us? I'm going to give you this. These are people that have the nerve, and I'm not saying the Neanderthal, I'm saying these people that are misruling the United States right now, to come over here, enslave our people, lie, and well, actually they killed off most of the adults, enslaved the children, rode them up and down boats on the Mississippi River and whatever the case may be, and said they brought them from Africa. Now, some of the Africans that they actually traded in this so-called slave trade were some of the Africans or whatever that were south of the border in Mexico that were sold around the Americas as slaves, like the Americans were sold around the Americas as slaves. But you come over here, you enslave a people that you say are nothing but animals. We're animals. We're monkeys. We're no better than a mule or whatever the case may be. And yet, you were raping and having sex with these people that you called animals that were monkeys and no better than mules. And more than that, you had the nerve to take your children and put your children on the titty of these women that you said were animals. Now, if it's true that we are animals and monkeys and we got tails and we're mules or whatever the case may be, that says a lot about you, that you were having sex with these animals, that you were raping these animals and putting your babies' mouths on the titties of these animals. Now, melanin rich people, yeah, we drink goat's milk and we drink cow's milk and whatever, but I know of no such thing as a sister that's going to take her baby and stick her baby's mouth on the nipple of no cow and let her drink directly off the nipple of no cow because it's an animal. So, my thing is this. People need to start asking the real questions. I'm saying all that to say I'm not trying to insult other people's people, but I'm about tired of people trying to insult mine. And I'm saying all this to you guys so you can back these people up off of you with this whole, niggers ain't this and niggers ain't that, and niggers always want to steal somebody else's nationality, race, and culture. Our people from the United States of America really haven't gone anywhere. Nothing with anybody, trying to take over anything, stealing anybody's everything, nothing. People have come here and taken our stuff. Now, you had these entities that I'm perceiving were the cast out of Europe and of some portions of Africa, who, like they brought out in the movie 300, they just throw them overboard because they're weak or they can't hold the mustard or whatever the case may be. Some of them died, some of them survived, as cripples or whatever the case. And they probably came out being this criminal element because, after all, they got to survive. They're a child that was cast out. They got to survive. And when they come out trying to survive and do what they got to do to make ends meet, they may have very well found themselves as these crippled, decrepit, like in the movie 300, these crippled, decrepit individuals who they talked about that they had to go up in the caves and talk to these priests that they would give their most beautiful little girls to so they could lick on and molest them all day and all night. They were probably the remainders of these boys that had been cast out. And had probably found some of the survivors of the boys that had been cast out. And, like in this movie, Lord of the Flies, you got a bunch of boys trying to raise themselves, you're going to have some severe problems going on. They're going to become crazy. Whoever's the most brutal killer is going to become the leader, and everybody else, because there's no girls around, but like they showed in the Blue Lagoon, people are going to figure out how to have sex. And if they none around but a bunch of boys, that's where they're having sex, with one another, until you give them your most beautiful little girls. So I'm saying that to all of my melanin-rich people to say, don't let these people get you screwed up. When they came crawling out of some of these little holes, these people that are now in charge of the world, lying to everybody about who they are, lying to everybody about who everybody else is. They came out, took over Greece. Now, Greece means pale. Greece, the word Greek, is from the word graikos, gray, meaning pale or whitish or bleached up in color. That's what it is. So when they talk about extraterrestrials and grays, gray means Greek or pale. And then you have Greek way and Greek love, which is rear-end sex. I told you guys about the science of that getting you stuck. But they crawled out, conquered the so-called Greeks, then conquered the so-called Romans, basically became a very criminal element, and started conquering the rest of the world under the direction of the Pontifex Maximus and the Jesuit general, who are currently